Hello, I'm OG, and welcome to Speaking of Everything. I have a very, very interesting guest for the first time on Speaking of Everything. It's a young attorney Sjamira Roseburg. How you doing?
I'm doing great. Thank you for having me.
And thanks for accepting the invitation.
Thank you.
I called you after I got that release from you that you were going to run on a political party list.
That's correct. That's correct. It's
Yeah.
overwhelming. A lot of positive reactions.
So that party that you're running with is called what?
URSM.
You're awesome.
Yes, with our leader, Luc Mercelina.
You had a great event over the weekend, huh?
That's correct. It was packed. A lot of positive energy, good vibes, real stories. And this is just the beginning.
Yeah. So are there more attorneys running the party than you, or you're the only one?
I'm the only one,
Yeah.
and we have our president, Brenda Brooks. So it's a
She's
strong,
also attorney, yeah.
a strong legal team.
That's
Yes.
good. That's really good. Now, for people who don't know you, how long you been on St. Martin now?
I've been on St. Martin since 2015, so I think it's about 8 years
Yeah.
now. 8 years, and I'm here and I'm staying here.
How you got to know about St. Martin?
I have my roots here. For a lot of people might not know that, but my last name is Roseburg. My mom is a Fleming, so I was born a Fleming from French Quarter. So I have my roots in St. Martin. I'm related to the Richardsons. I also have family members, Seba, Stacia. So I can say I'm from here. So that's that. But after studying in the Netherlands, born in Amsterdam, Southeast.
So you were born in Amsterdam?
Yeah, the
wow.
Netherlands, yes. In Southeast, also known as the Belmer. I studied law in Leiden, University of Leiden. Then I moved to Rotterdam to do my master's. And after that, I was like, okay, I have my law degree, but I want to practice law where I come from, where my roots lay. And that's why I decided to go to Curaçao. And I got a job opportunity to work for Pepi Suwaran, one of the best-known criminal law defense attorneys. He offered me a job, and I took that job, and since then I never left the Caribbean. And he asked me, Sjamira, would you like to see how it is on St. Martin, because he also had a firm on St. Martin. And I was like, yeah, why not? And the rest is history. The rest is history. I'm here, and I love my job. Yes.
So how was it growing up in Holland?
It was nice, of course, a lot of opportunities. The system is well organized for the rich, for the poor, for the people in middle class. There's for everybody, there's something. If you cannot maintain yourself, there are different funds that you can rely on. So that's why I can say consider Holland a very organized, has a very organized system.
So when you came to St. Martin, we were more disorganized, right?
You know, I would say that when I came to St. Martin 8 years ago, for me, it was adapting to the system, because where in Holland, certain things are organized and everything goes with a certain time frame.
1, 2, 3.
1, 2, 3, indeed. In St. Martin, that wasn't the case as yet. And looking back at it 8 years ago versus now, I can see changes, but I do believe that it can be better and more time efficient. So yes.
And so when you came to St. Martin, what kind of law you started practicing?
I started practicing, as when you start as an attorney, you have to do the different laws, of course. You have the general practice. You cannot just focus on one type of law. But my specialism became criminal law. I'm also known on the island as a criminal defense attorney. So my main focus was on criminal cases, defending persons who get arrested and need defense in criminal law. But other than that, I also practice general law cases, from civil law to law and entertainment, or to family law, so it depends. But my focus and specialism was mostly, and is at this moment still mostly, on criminal law, but also contracts. So basically
And because the small island too,
rounder.
you have to be
All rounder. But for example, you have a lot of inheritance cases.
Yeah.
That's not something that I do often, but I have partners that I work with.
That's a big issue on the island.
Yes.
Because Attorney Groeneveld, who passed away last year,
It
was in this
lost for the
program, and he
island.
told me, man, it's a lot of cases.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
That's correct.
So, what has been your experience as an attorney, a lady practicing and handling criminal cases, because it can be very tough at times.
Indeed. It's I do believe to say that it's the toughest area in law, because you deal with people on a daily basis, and you deal with people who have problems on a daily basis. It can be from a murder case to a robbery, to a case of abuse, to a case of neglect. So it's tough. And it's not made for everyone. A lot of times my name appears in the media, and then it's like, how can you do a case like that, Are you human?
Yeah.
But what we don't need to forget is that everyone has a right to be defended, and jail is for everyone. It's not that I can go to jail or you can go to jail.
Right.
Everyone can commit a crime. And while being an attorney, I have realized how deep the pain goes on the island, how severe the issues are on the island. And a lot of times you hear me complain about the system that's not functioning, and complaining about the rights that are violated. And let's say if you have like a case where a robbery was committed, and then or something was simply stolen, or somebody robbed something from someone. And then it's like, okay, why did you commit that crime? In court. And then the suspect says, I was hungry. I didn't have no food for days. I have a family to take care of. And when the distance is so big between, for example, the judge or the prosecution or maybe the attorney itself, and you can't understand the pain because you never have experienced it, that's a disconnect. You understand?
Yeah.
And it's like, okay, couldn't you find a job? But it's not that easy. And I'm not trying to say that it's okay to commit crimes, but we have to try to find a solution for those crimes not to be committed. And you have to understand the pain of the public that is dealing with situations like that. And over the past 8 years, practicing law and dealing with cases like that, I kept on hearing the same issue over and over and over and over. And, with one person, with one story, you can say, okay, they're just trying to find an answer for their issue or to try to cover it up. But if there's several people over and over the same answer, then there's something serious going on, something serious that needs to be tackled.
But have you noticed that in St. Martin lately, it seems like the public, they've gotten kind of like numb now. There's a crime or there's a killing, what have you, and people really don't care anymore. That's what I observe. I don't, if you feel the same way.
In what way?
The public, it's no longer, like, I've been doing television for a long time. This was 40 years.
Wow.
And when I had issues in terms of bringing a person on my program to speak about a problem, to say a shooting, I had a prosecutor on my program in 1990. He was brave to come on the show like that. It was live, taking telephone calls and everything else. The people were very angry, and they were angry with him, and he tried to explain to them the law and everything else. Looking back from then to now, what I've noticed in St. Martin in the community is that a crime is committed, or a killing takes place, but people are not really, they just kind of like forget about it and go about their business. In that sense, I mean that we no longer really engage and see that something really, really bad when it is still bad.
Yes, I hear what you're saying. I don't know if I can share that opinion, because of course when you work as an attorney,
You're closer to the problem.
Yeah, you deal with it on a daily basis, and you treat every case as a new case, and you give it your fullest attention. But what I do believe is that if you look, for example, at the robberies that used to take place on Front Street, like the jewelry stores, there's like, okay, another robbery. And I believe that we need to look at the bigger picture and look at where the issue is coming from.
It's more societal, you're saying.
Yes, because I do believe if, let's say, the issue is tackled from the roots, like, okay, this robbery is committed or is again the same person, we have to realize, okay, when this person goes to jail, what's being done in jail to avoid that when the person comes out, because they will come out, that this does not take place again.
Right.
Because if in the first instance they committed a crime because they needed money, because they have to survive, so they go to prison, explain to the judge, yes, I was hungry, I needed money, no food, so yes, dumb decision, I committed this robbery. Now the person goes to jail for like 4 years. What is happening in jail to avoid for this to happen again? And mind you, that person maybe was 17 or 18 or 19, a young adult, 4 years later in the 20s. So there's still hope. But then the person comes out, tries to find a job, has a record, nobody wants to hire that person, and then you're back by zero. I can't find a job. I have children to take care of. I need to survive. So if we don't tackle the issue, it is as we say in Dutch, a visuele circle. You know, it keeps on going on and on and on. So we need to find a solution for that. And I believe we need the business community and the suspects together to tackle it on a whole, and that will benefit St. Martin. That's what I believe. So
you feel that entering politics will give you a better chance to work and help?
Yes, because, you know, as I said, I'm very vocal in the community. Like when it comes to my cases, when it comes to the prison, human rights violations, when something goes wrong, I'm ready to tackle it. But I do believe at this moment in time, I can no longer stand on the sidelines. You cannot say that something is wrong, but you cannot change it. I can do as much on the sideline as what I'm doing right now. So therefore, I do believe with my law background and being able to make laws and the upcoming election being a parliamentary election, that from the inside, I can add to the system and make the laws and work together to really tackle the issues that I believe need to be tackled, and also hear from the society their view on what is needed and trying to implement that. And I'm not going to say, yes, I'm going to do it and I promise you that, but what I do promise you is that the way how I'm tackling, let's say, the issues of the prison, going all in for the people, and in that case, for example, the prisoners are clients, I will go all in for the people because it's an investment in our country. And that's why I'm ready to serve our country. I'm also serving my clients to achieve what's needed. And the only way to know what's needed is to hear the issues from the people. And I do believe that I have heard part of the issues from being an attorney and dealing with the people in different classes in our society. And I'm continuing willing to listen and to hear, so that it is not what I think, but what the country thinks and what the country needs. Yes.
You know, I don't know if you knew Walter Kramers, but he was a police commissioner who became an attorney, and I went with him to do some television interviews in the prisons in Martin, and we spoke with the prisoners. He was there. He brought over some of the prisoners that he represented too, and we spoke with him. What I noticed at the Point Blanche prison, a huge number of very, very young men.
Yes.
Very young. And what surprised me too, the number of women that were there at the time. The prison was full to capacity.
Which year that was? Because it's full still.
That was in 2000, I think.
Okay.
Either 1999 or 2000,
okay.
But I have the video still of it.
Okay.
So I want to ask you now, today in 2023, you've been a young attorney.
Yes.
Is it still like that?
You know, I don't know how it was back then.
It was crowded there.
Yes, it's crowded up to now. It's full, max capacity. So I believe the ministry is trying to find solutions how to currently minimize the capacity. They're busy with ankle bracelets, adapting that. That's very good because that will also drop the current capacity and give people the opportunity to await their trial outside with ankle monitoring. But yes, at this moment, we're waiting on the new prison, and hopefully that will address the issue. But it's still crowded at this moment, and currently I still hear from clients that they want to have more to do, because remember, you're in a prison to do your time. Other than that, to rehabilitate. So you want to get better when you're out. You want to be better when you're out. And they're long sentences. It's not like 1 month that you're in prison. You're lucky if that's only the time that you're in. But the current sentences are 12 years, 18 years, 24 years, 30 years. So if you're 30 years in prison, okay, of the 30 years, you have to do 2/3. So let's say 20 years in prison. You don't want to come out worse. It's not healthy for the society either, because a lot of people are like, oh, that person killed someone, or that person abused a minor. That's a big issue on the island, of course, a case like that. Throw away the key. But the law that we're abiding to, our system, we don't have no life sentences as in until death. You understand? You have the life sentence, but that's after 25 years, it will be reevaluated. But not a lot of cases you get a life sentence. So if a person is incarcerated for 20 years, they will come out. So you want them to come out better. You don't want them to repeat what they have done.
Yeah.
And therefore, we need certain programs in place. We need certain professionals in the prison that can tackle the issues that we're dealing with, because there are a lot of issues in our society, from the severe crimes that are being committed to mental issues. We have a lot of mental patients on the island, and because of the fact that our system is not able to tackle that in the correct way, we don't have certain institutes for mental patients. Those often go home after a certain amount of days, and then we just hope it goes better. Or if the mental health can help them and Turning Point can help them, we just pray that they don't come back. But that's not the solution.
Yeah, it's quite really sad though.
Especially in the mental cases, we cannot underestimate that.
It's quite increasing that now.
It's increasing, and I'm seeing it in the cases that I'm dealing with, from people that are hearing voices, from people that are addicted and are not themselves. It's sad, and it's time to take action on those points.
I couldn't agree with you more. And I was speaking to some people involved in the whole mental health issue that told me drugs play a big role in many of our young people that are involved. What about women? Are you seeing a lot of women too commit crime these days, or they're still a very low number?
It's lower than the men, of course, but yes, of course, you get once in a while you get some females that are arrested. It can be for false documents. What's a big issue on the island as well at this moment is buying licenses. Like
buying licenses?
Yes. So let's say you're driving a car, but you don't have a license, but you bought it on the road because the person said, yes, I'm working for the census office, so yes, I can get you one. And then automatically they think, okay, it's a real document. But then the question is, did you pass your driver's license exam? No, you did not. So how can you buy something like that on the road? Yeah, because I thought it was legal. And a lot of times you see cases like that with females are falsifying documents, or maybe picking up a package for a friend, and then that package contained maybe drugs in it, and then it's like, okay, I didn't know, So for certain crimes like that, you see that females are sometimes being used, not knowing what the real story is. But it's a lower amount than men. I think at this moment we have 7 or 8 females currently incarcerated. I think that's the max as well.
Yeah, I don't think they can hold more than that.
No, they can't.
Yeah.
No.
But women tend to be more forgiving, and they tend to be more innocent in accepting offers to do things. Then they realize it's not right, they violated the law. But I think men are much more violent and commit more violent crime. I'm sure you will agree with that.
Yes, I don't have the numbers with me, but as I said, the cases that I have been dealing with, not a lot of them are violent cases. Of course, you have a few of them that are violent, and it can be in a relationship or maybe friendship related that it goes out of hand. But most of the cases with men are more the violent
And
cases.
Do you get cases that are related to like safe haven where there's a lot of abuse of women? That's a home that take care of abuse women. Do you see cases like that also?
Yes, there are cases where women are dealing with safe haven related issues that they have to go to safe haven. But most of the time, I'm defending the suspect that is accused of that.
Yeah.
And I have realized that the community also need victims to be assisted, because there are a lot of victims that are afraid to come forward and don't have a connection on how to do that. So that's why I also have decided to defend victims in certain cases, so that they also have an attorney that they can listen to or get advice from, and that can guide them in the process. Because here in our Dutch system, you have the defense attorney that is defending the suspect, and then you have the prosecutor that is defending the public and the victim. But a lot of times when you want, for example, damages in a criminal case because you were abused or ill-treated or whatsoever, or you almost lost your life, you can also ask for damages. And that's why I have decided, because I was approached a few times, to assist victims that need assistance in that matter.
All right, guests who just joined us, I'm Oral Gibbs. Speaking about everything, my guest is Attorney Roseburg. She's here with me on Hot 99.9 FM radio. Speaking about everything, when we come back, we'll continue to speak with her right here on Hot 99.9 FM. Speaking about everything, please stay with us.
Hey, don't guess about your insurance. Be sure that you're covered. Like with your car, like your home. Be sure to be covered in case of a fire, flood, hurricane, or some other natural disaster. And travel insurance, because you never know what could happen when you're on vacation. You could lose your passport, your luggage, or have an accident. So be sure that you're covered.
Insure yourself fast and easy with Be Sure from the Windward Islands Bank Limited. Visit your preferred WIB branch, WIB Insurance Services, or BeSureStMartin.com. Get your Be Sure insurance at the Windward Islands Bank, your partners in progress.
For real? Somebody came in here and steal my curtains? Well, it's a good thing I'm insured with Be Sure, because even the contents of my apartment are covered. Don't play guessing games with your insurance. Be sure.
Are you be sure? Be sure.
My guest is Attorney Roseburg. She's here with me on Speaking of Everything, and we are speaking with her about her step into politics. She's now running on the list of the USRM, right?
URSM, yes.
Yes. And so far you're enjoying it.
Yes, I'm enjoying it. A good energy. You learn from the different people on the party, and the leader is very enthusiastic and very much approachable, listening to our feedback, and together we are going to make it a success.
I think Dr. Mercelin is so passionate.
Yes, he is.
He reminds me of Betico Cruz that I interviewed back in 1980. And he was very passionate about Aruba and Aruba status and so forth. He reminds me of that.
You know what it is, and I recognize myself in the fact when you do something with your heart, it doesn't become a job. And that's also what my goal is in this whole new adventure, is to do it because you want to do it. You're doing it because you feel that change is needed.
The love.
Yes, the love. I'm willing to work less as a lawyer, because I'm not going to stop as a lawyer, but to be willing to give in some hours as a lawyer to invest in the country, because I'm seeing that it's needed, and we cannot continue to stand on the sideline. It's time for action. It's time to invest. And that's why we're doing this, and that's why I'm doing this, yes.
It's good that you're doing that, because over the years, we have seen very little professionals get involved in politics. We've had all kinds of people get involved, but you things are becoming more complex.
Yes.
And this island need people that are well trained and understand different aspects of the professional life. And I think you make a good person in that.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And again, I don't have all the answers, but I do believe in a team we can achieve what needs to be achieved. And also the feedback from my colleagues, they're like, Sjamira, we're proud of you, good that you took this step, and we will be supporting you because, someone needs to do it. And then I've decided to take that step, but together we can make it work. I believe in that.
I think, and I told this to Gracida Arundel the other day, that when it comes to women in politics, it's a little tough.
Yeah.
Because the guys, they have to think 2 times, because you take a shot at the lady, you gotta be very careful, So they prefer to see less women in politics than more, and what they see now is more women coming into politics.
Yes. Yeah, it's part of the game. It's part of the game, And as working as an attorney and dealing with these heavy cases, I'm ready. I'm ready to do what needs to be done.
Did you hear from your friends in the Netherlands and what they're saying to you?
Yeah, like Sjamira, we haven't expected different. This is you. This is you. For my friends in the Netherlands, Curacao, my family, they're like, Sjamira, do what you got to do.
So when was the last time you was back in the Netherlands?
Last year. Last year. Yeah, I try to visit often. I have a few clients in the Netherlands as well. Also Curacao. I try to visit Seba, Statia, Bonaire, to stay connected with my family members and clients on those islands. So
Statia?
Statia, it's going well. It's going well. Crime level is low, but sometimes you have a few cases here and there.
Yeah.
And you need to stay connected.
Well, Mr. Roseburg, it was a pleasure having you and speaking about everything, and we hope when you're elected you come back. Don't forget us, because some people come.
Sure.
Once they get in there, their head grow big and they forget all about the sport.
No, not at all, not at all. Again, this is something that we're doing together, and I also want to make it known that I'm approachable. If there are questions, if there are ideas or advices, you can always contact me, because we are St. Martin. And we need to do it together. And I'm just the voice of the community.
Well, again, I want to thank you and wish you much success. All right?
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Thank you. And that's it for now, right here on the Hot 99.9 FM. See you next time. Hey, next time on the radio. And also on Speaking of Everything on television, YouTube, Facebook, and TV. Take care. Bye.